नमः। कृष्णे स्वधामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलो नष्टदृशाम् एष पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणममलं यद्वैष्णवानां प्रियं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यम् एकम् अमलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते तत्र ज्ञानविराग भक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यम् आविष्कृतम् तत् शृण्वन् सुपठन् विचारणपरो भक्त्या विमुच्येन्नरः सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि श्रीभागवतम् इष्यते तद् रसामृततृप्तस्य नान्यत्र स्याद् रतिः क्वचेत् य एतद् श्रावयेन् नित्यं यामक्षणम् अनन्यदीः श्लोकम् एकं तत् अर्थं वा पादं पादार्थम् एव वा श्रद्धावान् यो अनुशृणुयात् अनुशृणुयात् पुनाति आत्मानम् एव सः कृष्णतुल्य भागवत विभो सर्वाश्रय प्रतिश्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थ कया प्रेममया भागवत कृष्णेर श्री अंग ताहाते कहेन यत गोप्या कृष्णे रंग आदिमध्य अन्त्ये भागवते एकया विष्णु भक्ति नित्य सिद्ध अक्षय अव्यय भागवत शास्त्रे से भक्तिर तत्व कहे तेनी भागवत समा कोनो शास्त्र नहे Hare Krishna. So we are going through the purports of the sixth canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Vritrasura's Glorious Death. That we just started. Of course, we have read all the verses 35, and we started appreciating the greatness of Vritrasura. And in this regard, we can see the qualities. Sometimes some may, um, yeah, so to say, may not be appearing in a high class birth. Yeah, here in this case, one may see Vritrasura is um, a student of Shukracharya. But we can also see that, yeah, he is the son of Tvyashta, and we can see that he is empowered and all these things, but he had great qualities. This is what we can see in this chapter, that in fact, Indra feels very much sad that what he has done. Yeah, in the so in the purports, we went till fifth, if I'm not wrong, or nine. Check. Yeah. So, yeah. आयु श्री कीर्तिर ऐश्वर्यम् आशिषः पुरुषस्य याः भवन्ति एव हि ततः काले यथा निच्चोर विपर्ययाः. Here, just as a person not inclined to die must nonetheless give up his longevity, opulence, fame, and everything else at the time of death. So, at the appointed time of victory, one can gain all these. The Supreme Lord reward them by His mercy. So, Vritrasura is speaking, of course, there is no hidden agenda that Vritrasura is teasing Indra because, yeah, he fell down. He could not stand in front of Vritrasura. No. And he is also not just keen on inspiring, okay, come on, kill me. No. He is inspiring that start, fight, and not be disappointed in the purpose is it is not good to be falsely puffed up, saying that by one's own effort one has become opulent, learned, beautiful, and so on. All such good fortune is achieved through the mercy of the Lord. From another point of view, no one wants to die and no one wants to be poor or ugly. Therefore, why does the living entity against his will receive such unwanted troubles? It is due to the mercy or chastisement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that one gains or loses everything material. The beauty of Bhagavatam is that one's understanding is elevated to this level that he is not disturbed by, oh, wow, I'm highly favored, oh, I'm bitterly. Here with that mercy, chastisement, and of course, no one is dependent. Everyone is dependent on the mercy or chastisement of the Supreme Lord. So this relates very well to that we may have heard. Lord is Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are His part and parcels. What is part and parcels means that we are simply dependent on the mercy or chastisement of the Supreme Lord. There is a common saying in Bengal that Lord has 10 hands. This means that he has control everywhere in the eight directions and up and down. If he wants to take everything away from us with his 10 hands, we cannot protect anything with our two hands. Similarly, if he wants to bestow benedictions upon us with his 10 hands, we cannot factually receive them with all with our two hands. In other words, benedictions exceed our ambitions. Very nice. The conclusion is that even though we do not wish to be separated from our possessions, sometimes the Lord forcibly takes them from us. And sometimes He showers such benedictions upon us that we are unable to receive them all. Therefore, either in opulence or in distress, we are not independent. Everything is dependent on the sweet will of the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So, in this way, one who knows the three qualities are not qualities of the soul, but qualities of material nature, and who knows that the pure soul is simply an observer of the actions and reactions of these qualities, should be understood to be a liberated person. He is not born by these qualities. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying about this, and he is saying, what is Brahma Bhuta state or stage? Brahma Bhuta stage is when one attains self-realization, which is Brahma Bhuta, one knows that whatever happens during his life is due to the contamination of the modes of material nature. The living being, the pure soul, has nothing to do with these modes. In the midst of hurricane of material world, everything changes very quickly, but if one remains silent and simply observes the action and reactions of hurricane, he is understood to be liberated. This, I think all of us are trying to attain state of tranquility where there is no disturbances, whatever the world, okay. If there is boom, no problem. If there is, what is it called this? Recessions, yeah, or disturbances, all different kinds of disturbances. Still, when one is just as an observer, yeah, that's why there are these different schools of thoughts which are telling focus on air, the breath that you take, focus on mind, focus on nescience, yeah. So many focuses so that we are not disturbed. Or some say that just be in the current moment. Don't think about past, don't think about future, don't just carry away, just let everything so all these are to make oneself detached, and one who is successful in doing that is considered to be liberated. Hmm. The real qualification of the liberated soul is that he remains Krishna conscious, undisturbed by actions and reactions of material energy. Such a liberated person is always jubilant. He never laments or aspires for anything. Since everything is supplied by the Supreme Lord, the living entity being fully dependent on Him should not protest or accept anything in terms of his personal sense gratification. When anything is coming, we have to be careful. No, because we might be tempted to use it for our own self. Hmm. Rather, he should receive everything as the mercy of the Lord and remain steady in all circumstances. Pasyamam nirjitam shatru vruknayuda bhujam mride gatamanam yatha shakti tava prana jihirshaya. Here it says, hmm, um, just look at me, I have already been defeated, for my weapon and arm have been cut to pieces. You have already overwhelmed me. Hmm? But nonetheless, with a desire to kill you, I am trying my best to fight. I am not at all morose, even under such adverse conditions. Therefore, you should give up your moroseness and continue fighting. Prabhupada says, although Vritrasura was on the verge of defeat, he was not at all affected. Hmm? Here it said Vritrasura was so great and powerful that in effect he was acting as the spiritual master of Indra. Yeah, when I came across this, I think Gaur Bhagwan you were asking, right? So was it like split mentality or personality, or he's telling this at the same time? A spiritual master, when he's speaking, yeah, here we can see that he speaks with command. Yeah, he is speaking in command so that other person takes the message seriously. Hmm. He knew that he was going to be defeated by Indra and he voluntarily accepted that. But since he was supposed to be Indra's enemy, he tried his best to kill Indra. Thus, he performed his duty. So, the point he is, Prabhupada is highlighting here is Vritrasura was determined to follow the duty irrespective of what is the result. And the last line in this purport is one should perform his duty under all circumstances, even though one may know what the result will be. In the case of in Ramayana, we can see about Jatayu. Yeah, he knew he had less chance. He even knew that he may not even win very well in front of Ravana, who is a Mayavi and who is having this special, yeah. But still, he tried his best as a duty and compassion towards Mother Sita. Prana samara ishva aksho vahanasana atrana gyayate amushya jayomushya parajaya. Yeah. So, in this way, consider this battle a gambling match in which our lives are at stake. No one can understand who will be defeated and who will be victorious. It all depends on providence. In this way, Shukadeva Goswami further says, hearing the straightforward instructions from Vritrasura, King Indra praised him and again took the thunderbolt in his hand. Huh? Without bewilderment or duplicity. He had a duplicity in the beginning when the thunderbolt slipped from his hand, when he fell down. But now, without duplicity, he then smiled and spoke to Vritrasura as follows. Why? In the purport, Prabhupada says he was astonished to hear the instructions of Vritrasura, who was supposed to be a demon. He was struck with wonder that a demon could speak so intelligently. Then he remembered great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, who had been born in the families of demons. And thus he came to his senses. Even so called demons sometimes have exalted devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Indra smiled reassuringly at Vritrasura. And Indra said, oh, I see by your discrimination and endeavor in devotional service, despite your dangerous position, you are a perfect devotee. This is This is the position of a devotee. Of course, devotee doesn't want name and fame, but devotee is glorious and his glories are sung even by opponents. Here, Indra is singing the glory of Vritrasura, though he was a demon, but he sees, yeah, this demon is a great devotee. Bhavan atasrin mayam vai vaishnavim janamohinim yad vihaya suram bhavam mahapurushatam gata. You have surmounted what is the word used? Vaishnavim, the Maya. I mean, Vaishnavim means material energy. Uh, uh, and because of this liberation, you have given up the demonic mentality and have attained the position of an exalted devotee. So, Lord Vishnu is called Mahapurusha. In the purport Prabhupada says, therefore, one who becomes a Vaishnava attains the position of a Mahapaurusha. This position was attained by Maharaj Parikshit. It is said in Padma Purana that the distinction between a demon, a demigod and a demon is that a demigod is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, whereas a demon is just the opposite. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva Asuras Tat Viparyayaha. Vritrasura was considered a demon, but actually he was more qualified than a devotee. More qualified as a devotee or Mahapaurusha. So, in this way, if one somehow becomes a devotee of the Supreme Lord, whatever his position, he can be brought to position of a perfect person. In the Bhagavatam, there is this shloka, Kirata Hunandra, Pulinda Pulkasha, Abhira Sambha, Yavana Kashadaya, Ye Anye Chapava Yad Apashraya Sudnanti Tasmai Prabhavishnave Namaha. He says, this Kirata, I mean, these are all different low races, yeah. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, yeah, Andhra Pradesh, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Sumbha, Yavanas, and members of Kasha races, and even others addicted to sinful, mlecha, there is this word, where is it coming? Yavanas, yeah. Addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter. Ye anye cha papayat apashraya shraya. Of a devotee, by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord, for he is the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. This is he said. Anyone can be purified if he takes shelter of a pure devotee and molds his character according to the pure devotee's direction. Then even if one is a Kirata, Andhra, Pulinda, or whatever, he can be purified and elevated to the position of Mahapaurusha. So, so Vritrasura, Indra is saying, demons are generally conducted by mode of passion. Therefore, what a great wonder it is that although you are a demon, you have adopted the mentality of a devotee and have fixed your mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, who is always situated in pure goodness. In the purport, Prabhupada says, King Indra wondered how Vritrasura could have been elevated to the position of an exalted devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, as Prahlad Maharaj, he was initiated by Narad Muni, and therefore it was possible for him to become a great devotee, although he was born in a family of demons. For Vritrasura, however, Indra could not detect such causes. Therefore, he was struck with wonder that Vritrasura was such an exalted devotee that he could fix his mind without deviation upon the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Vasudeva. So, a person fixed in devotional service of the Lord, Hari, the Lord of the highest auspiciousness, swims in the ocean of nectar. For him, what is the use of water in small ditches? So, Sukadeva Goswami said, Vritrasura and King Indra spoke about devotional service even on the battlefield, and then as a matter of duty, they again began fighting. Both of them were great fighters and were equally powerful. They fight, and Vritrasura, bleeding profusely with his arms cut, looked very beautiful like a flying mountain. Prabhupada says, it appears from the statement of this verse that sometimes there are flying mountains and that their wings are cut by thunderbolt of Indra. Vritrasura, huge body, resembled such a mountain. In Ramayana, we may know that when Indra came, because at that time the mountains could fly because they had wings. And because they had such a potency that they can float or fly in the air, they used to come and hit and cause a lot of disturbances. And then, yeah, Vayu because of power of Vayu, they were floating. Indra simply decided to cut so that they can stay stabilized in on place, not cause disturbances. At that time, this Mainak, yeah, which comes in Sundara Kanda, he was flying and then he was protected. Yeah, he was given shelter, and in the waters, Varuna Dev has given protection, and Vayu has arranged such a way that he can come there. So anyway, that's the reason why Mainak wanted to offer hospitality to Hanuman, when he was sailing, or what do you call it, flying above the ocean, Lanka. So Vritrasura's huge body resembled like a mountain. Mahaprano Mahaviryo Mahasarpa Iva Dvipam Kritvaadaram Hanum Bhumau Daityodvi Uttaram Hanum Nabho Gambhira Vaktrena Leli Holbhana Jihvaya Tramshtabhir Kala Kalpabhir Grasan Iva Jagat Trayam Atimatra Mahakaya Akshipam Tarasa Girin Girirat Pada Chariva पद्भ्याम निर्जरन यन महिम जग्रासस समासाद्य वज्रिणम सह वाहनम. So anyway, in this way, he came before Indra and swallowed him with Airavata, his carrier, just as a big python might swallow an elephant. And then with Indra weapon, he just pierced from the abdomen, he came out. And then with Vajrastutak Kandaram Asuvega, although the thunderbolt revolved around Vritrasura's neck, and then he started cutting the neck with great speed, separating his head from his body, took one complete year. And Srila Prabhupada writes, one complete year, 360 days. I think last Sunday we were discussing, because now we are in the Adhika Maas, and then in that context, we were discussing how many days are there in a month. Can someone recall? Yeah, how many days are there in a month? Is it 28, 29, 30, 31? Can anyone recollect? It is actually 29.5. A month has 29.5 days. Because of this 0.5 and also all this, that's the reason when we add, it takes 32 months to make one complete. Yeah, when you add all this half and all this, then it becomes 1 month. That's what we call Adhika Maas. So here anyway, I don't know. So here the time in which the sun, moon and other luminaries complete a northern and southern journey. Then at the suitable time for Vritrasura to be killed, his head fell to the ground. Tada cha khe dundubhayo vinedur gandharva siddha samharshi sangaha vartyagna lingaistam abhishtuvana mantre muda Kusumair Abhyavarsan. When Vritrasura was killed, the Gandharvas and Siddhas in the heavenly planets beat kettle drums and jubilation. So this was indeed a moment of pleasure. They praised Indra and showering flowers upon him with great pleasure. And then what happened? Vritrasura. Vritrasya Dehan Nishkrantam after being killed. Atma Jyotir Arindama Pasyatam Sarvadevanam Alokam Samapadyata. And then he attained. He went the air, life air, has went and uh, entered the transcendental world to become an associate of Lord Sankarsana. In the purport, Prabhupada refers, Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur explains that Indra, not Vritrasura, was actually killed. He says that when Vritrasura swallowed King Indra and his carrier, the elephant, he thought, now I have killed Indra, and therefore there is no more need of fighting. Now let me return home back to Godhead. This is the mood of. So he said, oh, the duty is done. No more duty. Thus he stopped all his bodily activities and became situated in trance. So taking advantage of this, of silence of Vritrasura's body, Indra pierced the demon's abdomen, and because of Vritrasura's trance, Indra was able to come out. Now, Vritrasura was in Yoga Samadhi, and therefore, although King Indra wanted to cut his throat, the demon's neck was so stiff that Indra's thunderbolt took 360 days to cut it to pieces. Actually, it was the body left by Vritrasura that was cut to pieces by Indra. What does that mean? Which means Vritrasura himself was not killed. In his original consciousness, Vritrasura returned home back to Godhead to become an associate of Lord Sankarsana. Here, the word alokam means the transcendental world, Vaikuntha Loka, where Shankarshana eternally resides. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, I hope few questions are clarified and few questions may be there. I don't know. Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. It was clarified.
Yeah, happy.
Prabhuji, I
That's the
had
beauty of
one.
Prabhupada efforts.
Prabhuji, may I ask another one
Yeah,
that I was
sure.
thinking yesterday about the Vishwarupa, that he was killed. Although, because in this last yesterday we read that Indra was saved in the stomach of Vritrasur because Narayan Kavacha, he was
Mm-hmm.
his body was protected by. But
Mm-hmm.
why Vishwarupa himself was not protected?
Hmm. There is a way how Indra actually killed with Vishwarupa. Yeah, it was not like this, like in a war, in a battle. Yeah, so Indra played a trick and then he killed. Yeah, and that is
Unknown. Okay.
and that's also the reason why he incurred sin of killing a Brahmana. And you remember, right? We were discussing how he shared, how he cleared it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other thoughts or questions? Any realizations from life of Vritrasura? Usually we talk about life of Prahlad, life of Dhruva Maharaj. We can see the fearlessness and boldness of Vritrasura at the same time of humility. So these are nice qualities of Vritrasura. In fact, as I said, from the next chapter when we are discussing about who is Vritrasura, of course we know Chitraketu, and when we discuss that, we will know even more greatness. We will hear from Lord Shiva about that. Okay, then thank you very much. And tomorrow, yeah, we still have chance. Yeah, tomorrow we'll continue. पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृसिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गरंधराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।